Sunday morning, let's check in with meteorologist Payton Domschke and the AccuWeather forecast, and it sure feels like summer outside right now.
It does, and you know, you guys don't hear at home what we talk about during commercials, but Caroline was just bringing up that she saw Christmas decorations, and I said, Caroline, well, people do celebrate Christmas in July.
And I didn't think about that, because otherwise I'm like, too soon.
I got a message. I actually asked people what they were doing on Friday. We'll take you out the door momentarily, but I asked people what they were doing on Friday, and someone actually said that they were having a Christmas in July party this weekend.
Oh!
So I think it's very
Where
fitting.
was our invite?
Exactly. Some people are probably dreaming of not necessarily a white Christmas, but
temps to come down.
Maybe just a break in the humidity out there. I think that's just the least we can ask for in the middle of summer here. Of course, it is July. We've got lots of clouds above this morning from our Keystone camera, and we will be watching highs getting closer to 90 today. But I think the sunshine not as widespread as what we dealt with yesterday. I think a brighter zone eventually will be down the shore. For the city, we sneak in a window of opportunity of seeing brighter times through the middle of the day, and the Lehigh Valley, I think you end up just a little bit cloudier. A late day storm chance, all thanks to an approaching front that slides through tomorrow. At least it starts its journey through the area tomorrow. If you are down the shore, a low risk of rip currents, that's coming off of a moderate risk yesterday. From Long Beach Island to Cape May, highs around 80 degrees. Some of you stuck in the upper 70s. Again, a little extra sunshine for our shore communities today. And speaking of the shore, it's 75 in Brigantine. We'll match that in Cape May, 74 in Toms River. Just miles inland, we keep with the low 70s, hit the middle 70s for the I-95 corridor, even Middletown, Delaware, and we keep that momentum all the way into the Lehigh Valley. You don't get into the 60s until you make it into the Poconos. Temperatures, they continue to coast in the 70s until we get to about 8 o'clock. So if it's brunch plans, church service this morning, or maybe the kids have activities lined up, or they're trying to drag mom and dad to the pool today, it's not going to be a bad one, just not a whole lot of sunshine time today. But if it does peak out, our UV index climbs to a 10 very quickly. The front to watch that's going to come through the area, at least start its journey again, is still through the Midwest. So we've got time. We'll break down hour by hour with Future Tracker coming up, its impact to you as we start the work week. Caroline?
All right, Peyton, thank you. Last night in Delaware County, a caravan of motorcycles took part in a candlelight vigil for a fellow biker who was killed in a collision. Friends and family gathered in Chester to remember the 23-year-old volunteer firefighter. Action News reporter Katie Catro has the story. Now for another check of your forecast, Sky 6 takes a live look over a gloomy looking Center City on our Sunday morning. But you were talking about it, Peyton. It almost is kind of a good thing right now that we have a little bit of cloud cover when it comes to the humidity and the feels like out there.
I mean, especially if people want to get out and be active in the morning, I think the cloud cover, it's not too bad. I mean, you still probably are grabbing the sunglasses as the sunshine is trying to peek its way out in some zones. And today it's that typical summertime pattern, what we dealt with yesterday. Plenty of dry time, an afternoon pop-up or shower, maybe even a downpour, but not everyone sees coverage. As a front tries to approach, we're still keeping in view a gusty thunderstorm popping in our far western communities, and I'll show you that with Future Tracker hour by hour coming up. It's humid, and that means our feels like conditions with highs still close to 90. We will feel like the middle 90s, at least for inland zones. With Future Tracker, here's the idea of that spot shower storm. We're going to have another sea breeze develop that squashes those chances for wet weather to develop through southern New Jersey and Delaware. We'll keep an eye on it with Storm Tracker 6, and of course that 6 ABC app is in the palm of your hand for any update with Storm Tracker 6. Late tonight, though, our far western zones from Lancaster County, Berks County into the Lehigh Valley could see a decaying shower or thunderstorm here. I think it loses its momentum altogether, but that front, it's not done with us yet. So we've got the clouds above, and you're going to have to get out and stay on top of all of your watering today because a lot of you will stay dry from start to finish. It is 76 for the city. It is tropical in nature, and our heat index, not a problem quite yet. 75 Chalfont, 74 in Millville will match that. 74 in Middletown, Delaware. 68 out the door in Mount Pocono, and one of the warmest spots aside from Philly right now, down to the boardwalk, Sea Isle, as well as Reading at 76 degrees. So satellite and radar, not super impressive. We've essentially functioned with an on-off switch, the diurnal heating. So as we heat up during the day, the humidity, that can bubble up a shower storm, not just here locally, but really for the entire eastern half of the country, as there's no real distinctive pattern setup or boundary that we're watching here. And then at night, it fizzles out. But what's not going to fizzle is the front that is going to be on its way come tomorrow and really stalling with us through the day on Tuesday. So in the short term, we're up to 89 for the city today. A lot of the outlying suburbs in the mid to upper 80s, from Trenton to Pemberton, even Smyrna, Delaware in the middle 80s, down the shore around 80 degrees with that sea breeze kicking in. A southeasterly breeze sustained 6 to 12 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, the clouds are back. The humidity remains 73 degrees, and we will still account for that shower or downpour. Again, not everyone sees that. It looks isolated tomorrow morning. Again, then the heat of the day with a front nearby, downpours and scattered activity looks to at least expanding coverage here. So over the next 2 days, we're going to be dealing with a front, and tomorrow it could result in some localized flooding, especially in those areas that are waterlogged. By Tuesday, that cold front stalls nearby and tries to actually back build its way as a warm front eventually in your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day. And that's why highs are back in the 90s by Wednesday, even Thursday and Friday, all around 90 degrees. But it's going to feel even warmer when factoring in the elevated humidity, which is going nowhere over the next 7 days. So if you want a break and you need something to feel a little bit more dry, I guess indoor, or maybe take a trip out west. That's the only thing I can think of.
Can I file a grievance for all of the pregnant women out there this summer who have to deal with this humidity? We're done.
You're done with it. I'm sure I'm not. This is not the first I'll hear of it, Caroline.
No, probably
But that's
not.
okay.
We know it's not your fault.
It's all
Mother
worth
Nature.
it in the end, right?
Yes, that's what I hear. So we will see. Payton, thank you. On our Sunday morning, Sky 6 taking a live look of the Commodore Barry Bridge. Just a gloomy gray.
It's just so hard to find the words, right, Caroline?
Yeah, just not the best looking Sunday morning, but that's okay.
You know what? It is what you make it. You can make your own sunshine this morning as you step out the door. There's no huge weather concerns. We've had some reduced visibility around Wildwood this morning, very similar to yesterday morning with that persistent easterly breeze. But temperatures are going to also allow for that sea breeze to develop with that easterly flow. A low risk of rip currents down the shore, a little more sunshine through the afternoon. I think where the clouds continue to lie is going to be far west, and that's all thanks to an approaching front. I don't think it gives us a huge rain chance until late in the day for the Lehigh Valley and our far western communities. We're up to about 89 for the city today, watching for the daytime heating to potentially fuel a pop-up shower or downpour, but it's few and far between. Most of you stay dry, and we're dry right now at Philadelphia International. It's 76 degrees. It feels so soupy out there, and the high humidity is not going anywhere anytime soon. So if you're a curly girl like myself, it's horizontal hair season. You know what I mean. 74 in Allentown, 76 in Sea Isle, and it is 73 right now in Toms River. If you like the morning exercise, the cloud cover is not too bad for you. At least it is not allowing you to have to grab the sunglasses too much this morning. We're back in the 80s by about 11, 12 o'clock today, and we're in the middle 80s by 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. What we are watching, because there are changes expected, not just in the short term, but the long range forecast too. Scattered downpours are back in view tomorrow, I think primarily northwest of I-95. And thanks to a stalled boundary across the area, that rain lingers into Tuesday. Tuesday could feature zones southeast of the city, so it's all based on location over the next couple of days, and we'll work to fine tune that forecast as well. But after we get past the cold front that's trying to move on through, it does not get cooler around here. In fact, we crank up the heat. I think that front tries to bounce back as a warm front, in fact. So heat indices by the middle of the week, Caroline, are closer to 100 degrees. Get set to sweat.
That heat does not want to go anywhere. Payton, thank you. Well, severe